I'm John Batchelor. This is the John Batchelor Show. Lou Ann Hammond of Driving the Nation joins me. It's the New York Auto Show that attracts Lou to New York, and there are important rollouts of cars for sale. But first, we're going to speak of the news on General Motors and the investigation of the troubles with the ignition, denied or avoided or let's put it this way, unclearly treated for many years. The new CEO of General Motors, Mary Barra, says we're going to get all the information out. Visiting at the auto show, what is the mood of General Motors executives? What is the information that you can offer us tonight about the investigation?
Good evening, John. Mary Barra was there. And before the auto show, she unveiled with Mark Royce the Corvette and the Chevy Trax, and she did an auto forum even before that, and she said, we're well aware that the world is watching us. So they know that this has to have a strategy behind it, and it goes right to the heart of the reputation of General Motors going forward.
What's important to me here is to understand that there's going to be transparency, because that is the least of the problem here. It looks like there's some funny stuff in the summer of 2009. But in any event, transparency. Will we be able to see into this investigation process? Has General Motors commented on that?
She has to be very careful about what she says, because everything right now is being watched. And if she says too much of anything, I think people would come back to her and say, but you said this then. All right.
There's where we are tonight with the outstanding issue for General Motors. But General Motors is showing cars at the auto show. So let's go to the business of the future. They're showing a Corvette. All right, fine. Corvette. General Motors is back. They're going to make first-rate cars. A Corvette, I associate the summer of 1965, Beach Boys, bright red, young men heading off to Penn State driving their Corvettes. Has it changed?
Not at all.
Okay.
Well, remember, there were a lot of Corvette owners that were fighter pilots, too.
Right.
So you got both ends.
They're not as big as they used to be. I suspect they're performing ably, and they're matching up. What are they matching now? Are they looking to take on the Porsche? Are they looking to take on other muscle cars?
They're looking to take on the sleek, fast car, and it would be more of a Porsche-type car. I was talking to Ed Welburn, the chief designer there, and he said, more people are telling me what color car they would love their car in than they have ever said on any other car, which leads him to believe that more people are actually interested in buying a car, because once you pick out your color, you got to buy it.
The concern about General Motors, well-made or not, we have reason to believe that for many years there was some sloppiness in finish and small details. Has that changed?
There was definitely sloppiness in detail. And in fact, Bob Lutz has talked about this before, the Bob Lutz that was with General Motors during the bankruptcy years. He said one of the things that he went in and helped eradicate was the fact that no matter whether you had made a piece for a car before or not, if you made the lowest bid on the car, you got the job. And that's no longer the case. You have to have certain criteria. You have to made the piece before or made something similar. So they've gone up in quality just by doing that.
What is the Chevy Trax?
It's like it's a compact SUV. It's kind of like a Buick Encore. It's been in Canada and other places. It's coming to the United States. The big part about that is they're going to come in with a rear nav camera. Every week, 2 children are killed because they run over them.
Explain how it works. Because I've driven a Volvo, I understand. The moment you put R in on the automatic, camera lights up. What do you see?
You see the back end, and on some cars you can see a whole 360 because you've got children running around you, and people have run over their children because they can't see the car is too big. So now, 2018, it's going to be mandated that you have to have one in every car. But Chevy is now coming in and saying they're going to put it in there right away.
All right, it's an auto show in New York, so I have to do this. There's something called the McLaren. It's called a 650S McLaren. It costs $265,500. I like the 500. I like that. It's not a round number. What is it?
That's a base price.
All right. What is a McLaren? What does it do?
a gorgeous car. It's one of those cars that you watch just come up. The convertible go up, the gull-wing doors go up. It was based on Formula One racing. It's an English version of a car, and you might get 1,400 of them a year, and it's going to be 500 of them will come to the United States.
So 500 cars is a lot for McLaren to sell in the United States.
It is, and yet they still have, I think, 15 dealers in the United States.
A McLaren. Okay, now Fiat Chrysler. This was part of the Great Recession and the failure of Chrysler. Fiat is a company, a European company. It took over Chrysler. Fiat is the little car that I associate with the Flintstones. You run around because Fred would have used his feet to drive it. It's cute.
That's right.
Right, fine. But they're up to something because they're showing cars at the New York Auto Show, including the Alfa Romeo. Is that correct?
The Alfa Romeo 4C.
Right. Okay, so what are they up to?
So you have Fiat, which also is now Chrysler. And Chrysler is Dodge, Ram, Chrysler, and Jeep. Fiat also owns Maserati and Ferrari and Alfa Romeo. And they made a big showing at the New York Auto Show. So you know that pretty soon they're going to be going into IPO. Because anytime something like that comes out, a whole array of cars, and you know the Alfa Romeo is coming to the United States. They had more Maseratis on the stand than ever before. They're looking at this going, investors, we want you to see our wares.
Alfa Romeo and Maserati. Okay, they're coming to the United States. Now, I've saved the best to last because it's a total puzzle how this is happening. I didn't mention Mercedes-Benz because Mercedes is the builder of something called a smart car, which I'd never paid attention to. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was from California. It turns out it's not. It's actually available everywhere in the United States, although not always from Mercedes dealers. It's called a smart car because, well, I'm not quite sure. It's cheap. It's cheap to lease. And they were talking about it at the New York Auto Show. What can you get for $99 a month for 36 months?
So let me just tell you, first off, Mercedes, everyone was over at the Mercedes looking at this S63 AMG with the new Swarovski crystal headlights. Okay. But on the side are these little smart cars. And went by them tonight, and the guy said, you know, you can lease one of these for $99 a month.
I looked it up. It's true. $99 a month, 36-month lease. $1,000 down, $99 a month, which if you drive from your home to the station or from your home to Home Depot, that's about all I know how to do. $99 a month is much cheaper than cab fare, and you've compared it to buying Starbucks.
That's right. The guy was he was an investor, and he was looking for a car because he drives 1.5 miles from his home to the train, right. And he said, I could give up Starbucks for this for $99 a month, and it would only cost me $5 to drive for the entire month.
They're emphasizing safety. Does that mean they come and pull you out of the wreck? It's awfully little. It's very little.
But they do have a 5-star NHTSA rating.
All right, fine. Lou Ann Hammond of Driving the Nation, attending the New York Auto Show, the last auto show of the season.
Yes.
I'm John Batchelor. This is The John Batchelor Show.